Hey guys, welcome to Crypto Queen Academy. My name is Juliet, also known as Crypto Queen. So today I'll be walking us through on how we can use MACD, an indicator momentum, to identify the trend of the market. But before I proceed, if you are seeing this video for the first time, if you are seeing this video, I would like you to subscribe to my channel, like my video, and click the notification button to get updated when next I will upload my tutorial video. So now I'm going to walk us through where we can find MACD. So once you log onto your Binance and you want to make a trade decision, maybe you want to use MACD to add up to other indicators that you use. Then you turn on the MACD. When you come here, MACD is not highlighted. Click on it and turn it on. And if you want to change, this is what we know as MACD and its component. I will explain further. So if you want to change the colors of this line, you can come here and click on it, then click on indicator, then click on MACD. This is where you see the color. Then these two things represent the MACD component. So we have difference known as MACD line, then we have the EA known as signal line. So these are the standard settings too of the MACD indicator. So we have shorter period, longer period, MA period. So then when you set it, you click on confirm. So once you click on confirm, you're good to go. So now what is MACD? This is where we can find, like I said, this is where we can find MACD component. So what is MACD? MACD is moving average convergence divergence. So it's an indicator momentum that is being used to analyze the market trend. So we have three components of MACD. We have MACD line, which measures the distance between the two moving average. So this is what is known as MACD line. This yellow line that is shooting up here, it is what is called the MACD lines. Then we have the signal line. The signal line is the pink one, this pink one here under it. So the pink one here, we can see it clearly. So the both of them, so the pink line that is following it is what is called the signal line. Then the histogram. So the signal line identifies the changes in the price. The histogram, which represents the difference between the MACD and the signal line. So this is the histogram. So this is the histogram. So it represents the difference between the MACD and the signal line. So now how can we use MACD to identify the trend of the market? So there are two signals that MACD can generate. One is the strength of the trend and the turning point of the trend. As we can see from the look of things, this MACD shows us that this coin ENS is pretty bullish in 15 minutes view. So there's a lot of strength in this MACD line. So what is signals? It's two signals. Either the trend is rising or the trend is falling. So when the MACD line rises, the signals that the trend is powerful. So just like we can see, there's a bullish trend for this coin. So when the MACD line rises, just like we can see as it's rising up here, it's showing that the strength is powerful. So let's see what happens in other view. It is not enough to reference on a shorter time frame. So here we also saw that MACD line was rising. So the moment we see MACD line rising from below the histogram above the histogram, it's sending that trade is very powerful. It's sending a very bearish sign. So the moment it rises very much higher and start declining, it's sending a weakness in that, a decline to that trade. So as we can see, as it keeps rising, let's see what happens in 1 day view. So I would say that the strength of this trade now currently is about to decline, because from the look of things is about to decline, but it's not clear even is about to decline. See, as you can see, it's rejecting it. It's about to decline and still start diverging. So if you see this, what happens here? Let's see what happens there. It looks like it was about declining. That is where we saw this little pullback here. As I did this little pullback, it was about declining here. We saw it here, little decline here, and it starts redirecting attention to up the MACD line. So the second signal that the MACD line gives is when the signal line crosses the MACD. So when the signal line crosses the MACD and gets above, like it goes above the MACD itself, it sends a bearish sign. So just like we see here, for example, this is 1-day view. This signal line has crossed this MACD and it's about getting close. As it crosses this MACD itself, and it's getting closer to the MACD line. So it's apparently what is printing is a bearish sign. So, and also when the MACD line is trading very much above, when the strength of the MACD declines above the histogram, what is sending is a bearish sign. So, but when the signal line start trading, or when the signal line starts moving below the MACD itself, what is sending is a bullish sign. Just let's see what happened here. As the strength of this MACD line declines, the signal line takes over, start diverging, and start pulling back. The signal line start dropping. As the signal line drops below the histogram, so whenever we see the signal line below the histogram, so what is sending is a bullish signal. So what is given is a bullish signal. So it's sending a buy order. Once it is below the histogram, is sending a buy order. So once is the signal line is above the histogram and the strength start decline, is sending a sell order. So if you're a futures trader, the moment you see that there is a resistance, for example, there's a resistance in the trade and the MACD line shows you a decline in that trend, it is a better time for you to short. And the moment you are you are shorting and the signal line shows you, maybe the signal line shows you a bullish sign, that is a divergence towards that trend, it is best time for you to take profit. Maybe at that point you need to long rather than holding your short. So let's see a clearer view from another chart. Let's see another trade. So let me explain something else. Sometimes there is a decline, there is a pullback, but it does not cross below the histogram. It still trade above the histogram is bearish zone. Trade below the histogram is bearish zone. So a trade can also be moving uptrend under the bearish zone, but a trade above the histogram is bullish zone. So we saw a pullback here, even in the bullish zone. That is because at this moment that the strength of the MACD line got exhausted, the signal line start crossing over. Whenever the signal line start crossing over the MACD, it's sending a bearish sign. As it crosses over the MACD, what we will see is that it will cross over the signal line and start going down. As it's coming down, let's see what happened here. As it's coming down, it's sending a bearish. So we could see in this chart, the red is bearish, the green is bullish, the green is bullish, the red is bearish. So as showing in this chart the candles too, it will be representing in the histogram and the direction of the either convergence or divergence movement of the component. So in summary, when a coin is trading, when the signal line is trading under the histogram, it is the best time to buy. It is sending a buy signal. When or try to identify which is which. Like I said, you can set the color. For me here, the signal line is the pink one. The MACD line is the yellow one. So when MACD line start rising up, it's sending a bullish sign. When signal line start rising up above the histogram, is sending a bearish sign. So we could only see the moments where signal line rises above the histogram. All the moment where signal line rises above the histogram, they were the moment that the trend, there's a decline of that MACD line. So once the MACD line start declining, the histogram, the signal line start taking over. As the signal line takes over, it prints a bearish sign. So how do we combine this with order or probably the previous RSI taught us about? For example, in 1 day view here, let me look for that ENS. For example, in this 1 day view here, let's say ENS here, I can see clearly. Let's say so let's see what is happening here. So for example, if you come across a bullish trade, and if you come across a bullish trade, let's say at this moment where we have a strong rise here and it's declining, so and maybe RSI here is showing 80 or 90. So at that moment, you look at the shorter time frame, and the shorter time frame has started showing a decline or a pullback in the MACD line. Then it's enough confirmation that at that moment that coin is overbought and is about to go down. Let's see what is happening currently. So this coin is quite looking very bullish, but from what I can see here, like I said in this chart, is this the movement towards the end point is not really clear. So it looks like it was declining and starts diverging again. So until this signal line, the pink one, crosses above it, you wouldn't say that the sell signal has been confirmed. So the signal line must cross above the signal line must cross above the MACD line before you can confirm a sell signal. So at this moment, I wouldn't say, like I said, at this moment, it looks like it's still going to go pretty much bullish, but here we'll have a resistance. So if it gets to this place and start dropping, if it gets to this place and starts pulling back, or if it's resisted here, so we are going to see it in this MACD. So in summary, whenever a trade is whenever these components, MACD line and signal line, whenever they are trading, whenever the MACD line is trading below the histogram, it's sending a bullish sign. So and whenever the signal line too crosses above the histogram and crosses above the MACD itself, and the MACD line is sending a bearish sign. So we could see it in this chart. So all the time that the MACD strength got exhausted, so as it's rising, you can just be confirming what is happening in the chart. The only thing that this can help you to do, because you can't leverage on only MACD. You can't leverage on only MACD to make your decision. You cannot leverage on only MACD to make your decision. So you can always combine it with other indicators to analyze the chart. So we will look at how we can use exponential moving average and MA in our next videos to spot the support and resistance zone. So at the end of this tutorial about the various indicators, the simple indicators that we can use to analyze the chart, I would also make a video and to show us how we can combine all of them to analyze a particular trade. So in summary, so look, whenever the MACD line crosses, start rising, whenever it start rising, it's sending a bullish sign. Whenever it crosses over and start declining, it's sending a bearish sign. And whenever the signal line crosses over the MACD and starts crossing over this MACD line, it's sending a bearish sign. So once it crosses over the MACD line, we can see in this chart what happens. So you can be confirming what's happening in the chart with what is happening in the market. So MACD is only going to help you to know when this coin is about to recover. So when it's about to recover, as it drops below the histogram, when it's about to recover, so when it's about to recover, look at what happened here. At the moment it's about to recover, the signal, the MACD line starts diverging towards the start rising. So the moment you see a trade below the histogram, the moment you see the component of MACD, which these two components below the histogram, and you notice that the MACD line is rising up. So as it's rising up, it's pointing a bullish sign, even if you can't understand the chart. So as it's rising up, it's pointing a bullish sign. As the MACD signal line is going down, is pointing a bearish sign. So be able to identify these two things. As the MACD signal line is going down, as it's rising up above the histogram, is sending a bearish sign. So confirm it, it will start rising below the histogram. So if you look at what is happening in this chart, it's clear. As the MACD line, which is the yellow line, crosses above the histogram, the strength of that trend start declining. The signal line crosses above the MACD line, crosses above the MACD itself, and starts dropping below, going below the MACD. It's printed a bearish sign here. It printed so the red bearish, the green is bearish. So wherever you see a bearish, you're going to see it in the chart here too. So we can use this to combine other indicators that we use to analyze the chart. As we know, we do not rely on one indicator to make decision around our trade. This indicator can only help you to know what is the trend saying. Is MACD also speaking the same thing? Are we getting closer to recovery zone? So at that moment, it has gained a resistance. Is MACD saying that this trade has resisted? Has its trend started declining? From the look of things, it looks like this trade, even in 1 day view, trend has started declining. But we're yet to confirm at 1 day candle closure. So I hope this video is able to walk us through on how we can use MACD and combine with other indicators to make decisions around that trade. So the movements of the MACD goes up, down, up, down, up, down. So it goes this way. When it goes up, you should know that there's going to be a sell signal. It goes down, you should know that there's going to be a buy signal. So it goes up, down again, there's going to be a buy signal. It goes up, there's going to be a sell signal. This way you will be able to know the right time to enter the market. So I want to thank you for taking your time to watch this video. Look out for my other tutorial, my educational videos as you turn on your notification button. Thank you for watching. Also remain your friend, Crypto Queen. So do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Cheers.